Like, what is that about? What you even know?
Um, it's hard to say because we at the point now, the ones who haven't really figured out who they are,
Mm.
they they at the part now where they just want to tear something up because they feel that something ain't right and they don't know what it is. And that's why you have to get your irritations under control.
Yeah, get myself under control too.
Hmm. That's all part of it.
I have like I started spirituality when I was 13. Like after my daddy died, my mama she got into it, and this how I got into it. And from there, it's been like havoc basically, because it's like, cause like I guess me and my mama like the first two to be awakened in our bloodline. So it's like we gotta learn from other people or ourselves. So it's not like we really
Yeah.
know what we're talking about or what we're doing with them. So
Yeah.
it's
So
easy.
it's like this. You woke up first because you the only one qualified, you and your mama, to cook breakfast for the rest of them as they wake up.
And what's so crazy too, my mom used to tell me that she used to, when she used to sleep, an angel named Michael used to talk to her. And I
Warrior
used
angel.
to, huh?
The warrior
Yeah.
angel.
And I used to tell her, like, I used to ask her, like, could they possibly be your spiritual parent, one of your spiritual parents? Because she said he come to her a lot, all the time.
Those are okay, so in a different religion, let's say Ifa, right? Or let's say Badun, you be attached to a bloodline of one of the ancestral hierarchy spirits.
Right.
And they communicate with you just like you talking to me now. Only are you spiritually and emotionally stable enough to interact?
Right. Okay. It makes sense. Make a lot of sense. Because I also, with my, because I try to like astral project and stuff so I can talk to my dead people and like, you know, how this stuff go. But I saw my daddy one time, but he would not talk. And I don't know, like, if I see them in a dream or something, it's just nothing. Like, they don't talk or anything. I don't know if they got something to do with me or what.
It's your development level haven't understood the type of communication they giving you on that frequency. They might not talk with words. They might be telepathically talking to you and you looking at them, but you ain't grasping that they're using the mind to communicate with you.
Right. Because they are on a higher dimension, right? Then I know they on a higher dimension than me. So, but
We
yeah,
do all our ancestors is information in our DNA now.
okay.
So if we examine the self, what's in our DNA, it'll come forward and communicate through your subconscious mind. That's why you have to learn how to merge conscious with subconscious, which is a training exercise that's very difficult and it's lengthy to practice and learn.
I have been trying to get into some spiritual practices, but like I said, I'm new to it, so I don't really know like too much about like the different practices and all of it stuff. Then when I do
Yeah.
research, some people you don't want to step on these people's toes and all it, crazy stuff. So I don't know. But I will figure it out. Thanks for
Mhm.
accepting the call. Nice talking to
Okay. All right, you're welcome. I'm about to let another caller in.
you. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. Mhm. Let's see what it do. Let's see what to see. While I was waiting on this other person to come in, how do we know what's our position in war, especially being a teen, and how do we live without the fake government? Fake government gonna be gone. We gonna figure it out. We don't need them here because they are obstacles to us figuring that part out. We know our position in war based on our skill set. What are you capable of doing in this war? Right now, we fighting the information war, and we fighting the spiritual war. That's the remnants of an old conjure of amnesia that we was in to battle with people that look like us and determine if they would be able to deceive us into believing that we came from another part of the planet other than the Americas when we was already here. And so what we're looking at now is to rebuilding of our communities by understanding the mechanisms of economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, war, and health. So that's 10 areas that we can start to research until we figure out our qualifications as to how we can use what we know to best benefit the collective of our communities. I hope that answered your question. Okay, I'm gonna try another one. Okay, he declined. Coach Pat. For anxiety, try St. John's wort and skullcap tea. Peace, God.
How you doing, God? First of all, I just want to say I appreciate you for doing what you do.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
I'm big into finding out about how we can utilize tech, moving on, creating a new society and civilization. How you feel about AI, and do you recommend using it? Or if you do, what are the best ways for us to use it?
So, and when you determine in the upcoming era we should use something, the first question is how do it affect the children? The second question is how do it affect the earth? If you can use a tool without it negatively affecting the children and the earth, and it can improve the life, you're supposed to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man create the technology that we have now. They got way more advanced technology that's being withheld from the people, from healing chambers and med beds to free energy cars that can run perpetually. They can run a car off water, but they can also run it off air. But see, they don't want to do that because they can't capitalize in a capitalist society on what you don't know. Right. So we start exercising the mind by reading books. We don't read books to tell us who we are. We read books to get somebody's perspective other than our own, and to be weightlifting for the brain. Right. And it just so happened that as you download, your genetics will put the information in the order that best serves you and your bloodline. Right. They call it being encoded light codes in the DNA. Right. We call it when your ancestors talk to you. You see the difference? They come in scientifically, we come in ancestrally, historically. They gonna tell it in a physics formula. We gonna tell it in a fairy tale. They gonna give us some numbers to crunch. We gonna flip numbers into letters and the words in the alphabet. Right. So we're gonna use it from a higher creative standpoint because that's the only way you can prevent yourself from being conquered and to overcome your conquerors if you've been conquered. That we wasn't conquered, but it sure looked like it. We was still at war. Right. While we was at war, they put in an interim government to operate the mechanisms of government, which is one of um, the couple of the different areas of people activity, mainly labor and law, because this is what they use into justification of government. They using our labor to fund a war machine, and a war machine, all of their war machines is pointed at us.
Right.
Right. But we don't know that because they stay apparently at war all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they are being financed from one central location called Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So Switzerland remained neutral in all the wars because they funded both sides. Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. Keep them fighting among themselves. They'll never have the time to figure out they oppressed.
Right.
They'll never have a time to figure out that their heart is attached to the earth over here. They'll think they from somewhere else because we told them. They'll believe us wholeheartedly.
Right.
That don't feel right to me.
Right.
It feel like we should have a say in that.
100%.
You know.
I got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
I found my calling. My calling is to teach my community about health and wellness. One of the big challenges I'm running into is getting people to take that portion of their life seriously.
Well, I also teach health and wellness, and I know exactly where you're coming from. People believe that these diets they have in us is our natural diet, where they wouldn't have to worry about health and wellness. Right? The misdirection, switching out the bison with cows. We don't know why they did that.
Right, because cows are native to this land.
No. And all cows are hybrids.
Right.
And if you notice, they've been blowing up and setting ablaze and killing mass slaughter of cattle.
I have.
That's so that the farmer can recoup it on the insurance before the corporation go down. Because there ain't going to be no GMO allowed, no artificial food to the people. But we first have to get to the position where we can control our own food development, our own farmers, right? But as for now, you're starting to see it all over the chicken farms. They are collecting that insurance money. They can't sell the GMOs coming in from the farm now. So the farmer have two recourses: let it sit there and rot, or set it ablaze and then recoup it on the insurance, because the insurance companies were defrauding the farmers the whole time. Why not get some of your money back?
So that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching a video about how there was over like 1,900 food processing plants and farms being blown up and destroyed.
Yeah. Because the law of the land is to protect the children for the next 7 generations. We at the close of the age going into the Aquarian, coming out of Piscean, we have to give whatever order that benefits the most people on the land. So I say no more GMOs, and all of a sudden all that stuff start happening.
I see vast opportunity as well.
Yeah. It's a vacuum created from the side effect.
So that must mean we really got to take creating for self
more serious.
But they pushing us away from that so much. If you see the commercials, the ads, the marketing, the promotion,
it's all to lure the mind into disregarding what's in the best interest of the self. That's what it's all about. They got the advertising agencies was the biggest clients to the Central Intelligence agents for the data that they collected during MK Ultra mind control research. Why would advertising agencies be so interested in spending millions, if not billions of dollars to further this research and implement it into their ads? This is where they came up with doing it. MK Ultra did the Coke popcorn experiment on the single frame of a video to determine how it would affect the people, and popcorn and Coke sales shot up. So that immediately caught the advertisers' attention. If they can make the Coke sales go up and the popcorn sales go up, What would it do to put a naked lady on the Budweiser commercial for a guy that drinks beer?
Right.
Right. So she advertising the beer for a man and she in a bikini.
Right. So it just kept on replicating the same system.
Yep. Using it in different ways on pictures, in magazines. All of the ads is designed to seduce the mind into disregarding the best interest of the self in order for them to make money off of us.
Man, make me think. I know it's kind of veering off a little bit, but about the children and about, I work in the school also every day. That's what people would call the 9 to 5. I work in the school, and I'm noticing that, number one, the kids don't want to be there. That's easy because the curriculum is not challenging enough. It's not stimulating enough. Number two, the teachers don't want to be there because the system is not giving them the autonomy to properly
teach
and teach the kids. So what I'm seeing in the future, I'm like, it ain't about to be no school no more. It ain't gonna be no public school no more. It seems like, and then
the whole educational system has to be revamped.
Didn't they just, I just talked to one of my partners, they said they just shut down the whole Department of Education for the United States.
It's possible because AI running out of money to keep the artificial facade into place. As it runs out of money, it starts shutting down what it can't afford to maintain, using the law of efficiency to stretch each dollar as far as it can stretch to maintain the government. Right? They already said that by June the 1st, they pretty much going to be, AI not going to be able to run it no more. They was using AI to allocate resources to government agencies to give the appearance that the government was intact.
Oh, so you telling us that AI has been running the government since before AI has been introduced to us on the mainstream?
No, AI has been running the government on its own, giving orders since January of 2020. It had a certain amount of money it had to use up to kill the old system. Right? And this why you got police stations closing in some places, right? Fire stations closing, schools closing for lack of funds. Cincinnati, I think, was it Cleveland or well, it's a city in Ohio that start with a C that didn't even open back up after January the 1st of this year. Government closed, right? You have people that's driving around in police cars with stickers on them telling you that they're not even in service, they just riding around. Right? We're not paying that no attention because AI got us thinking this business as usual by being such a efficient spender of the funds to maintain the system. But sooner or later, it's going to run out.
Right.
Because they no longer have the resources of us as collateral to keep it running. In the meantime, we have to try to inform many people as we can clearly that this system is over with and we go into a new system, and AI is also using fear tactics to keep people subjugated.
Right.
How am I going to be scared of a stranger on the land and I got all my family here?
Hold on. You know what just clicked for me? It sounds like the Wizard of Oz.
It's exactly like the Wizard of Oz. When you see the character behind the curtain, you realize he stole Big Mama's keys and acting like he a grown man driving the machine. And he's a clown the whole time. But it's AI. It's artificial intelligence with a 4-bit quantum encryption system using the law of efficiency, the rules of finance, fractional reserve banking, in order to stretch these last few dollars as far as they can be stretched. And as he ran out of funds in one area, it's got to close down.
Right.
This is why you see, I think the guy in California name was Gavin Newsom. They called in the National Guard. Those are the only people money not cut off is the military. AI has no control over the military, only the political government and the artificial structure.
Right.
Right. So once they, but
They
they
don't
don't
have to teach a lot of this stuff.
In
In
their
their
practices, by practicing the
the
controlling of the chi in varying different forms, you can perform these feats. But it takes us back to what we seen with the drill teams marching. They still harnessing chi. They harnessing group chi.
That's right.
Right? Now you go to here. Most of this is ballet.
Okay.
It's not really for combat.
Okay.
But every one of them have a combat version. But none of these was designed solely for combat. This is like an airplane simulator is not the same as flying an airplane.
That's right.
This is a simulator version of combat. It's Tai Chi. And at the same time every day, all the trainers get out and they doing Tai Chi in the park. Pull it up. Tai Chi in the park.
Okay, let's do
China.
Let's do it.
You see the way other people know this information of harnessing the energy to effectuate change in the environment around them. This is the beginning of what we call God knowledge. Put it up on YouTube so I can see the movements.
I put it up on YouTube. I think I would do it. Let me get it on YouTube real quick.
We learn the same thing, but we call it land dancing. I don't care whether you hillbilly land dancing or whether you're doing the icky shuffle or whatever. The Cupid shuffle, you still land dancing. It's the same general principle. It's just different steps involved. So in China, part of the reason why they keep this tradition up because it's part of the integrity of the nation's unity.
Oh yeah, this fire, right? You be dropping it, bro. Feeling it. You be dropping it. People were saying it's fake, man. That cheese fake.
No, this is the ballet version of one of the most deadly martial arts. That's the mock. But this ain't why we want it. It's teaching you to harness the chi in it. Once you know what it feel like, you can build it. You can use the science given to you to write your own magic, which makes it more powerful. And that's why every sorcerer, witch, warlock, priest, they all got what we call grimoires, diaries, journals, right? Even scientists keep journals. This is because in journaling it, you can review it as if you're somebody else. And it'll show it to you from a different angle. Right? You repeat stuff over and over until you master it. Once you master it, you create grooves. You create grooves in your psyche that allows you to be able to perform muscle memory flawlessly. These moves is to mimic muscle memory or train muscle memory where you don't need a whole lot of strength. This sword fight here, this is a little bit different.
Yeah, they doing like let me get a good one. So this energy is they drawing from within. They pulling this energy from within. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then when they all doing it together, it's expanding the energy. It's allowing them to have greater control of their spiritual awareness. That's why they don't have any problem talking about their ancestors. The what?
Okay.
So this is what it look like in a group.
With no 3 man, 300 men.
Yeah. So this is what it look like in a group doing it. Yep. So it's group cohesion.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody.
They learn all of the moves, and while they learning the moves, they feeling the energy, they learning, they instructing them on what to look for, what sensations to feel for. So then it's easier for them to control their inner self. Taming the monkey man.
They teach this in the Avatar movie too, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's all in the anime use it because it's part of the culture of the Earthborn. You find it all in there, but remember that everything is exaggerated.
Yeah, see,
The skill that it takes to make
right there.
Go ahead, Elder.
No, I didn't want to cut. I know you was start talking. Because people say you gotta let them. I'm letting them talk. So I'm just.
Oh no, you can talk too. Don't
go. Say energy. Okay, I was gonna say the energy. This energy. When I practice martial arts and I did all the moves and the breathing, and it's like I was drawing some kind of. It feel like a, you know what it feel like. It feel like the same thing I feel when I know when the adrenaline kick on. It's like I got control of this adrenaline. I'm extra strong, super energy. So it feel like adrenaline rush when you get in the hold of this energy. So yeah, man. A woman can knock you out. A woman know about that chi. She can hit the biggest man, no matter how big you is, and you will get knocked out. I'm telling you,
that's called the death touch.
Okay. Go ahead on that, bro. I ain't want to stop your train of thought, but I see. This way where we going. This running this again. This is where we going with this energy.
All of this is part. So one of the things that we're gonna be teaching when I finally get to get done with this part and we get back to the culture is they got this lady over in England who teach children how to read blindfolded.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Matter of fact, you can put reading blindfolded, children reading blindfolded in YouTube. They can see what I'm talking about. I'll tell you which video it is. But the mind can perceive well beyond the known five senses. But if you never activate any of the higher senses, scroll down some.
But that's the lady right there.
Trying to see the one I was looking at. The little girl right there with the red on.
Okay, maybe right here. The Indian girl. I think it was in India, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's where the lady learned technique in India, but she teaches it in Europe.
Yeah. India. I read this a long time ago.
Yes. So it's not. This ain't the only thing that they're gonna be learning. It's just one of the things I thought was gonna be fun to teach.
Hey, you know, Rod, you was talking about this. What you teaching now? You was talking about when I first talked to you, but you didn't go into it. When ready, you was talking about the blindfold and all this superpower. You was talking about this right when I met you, like about a couple months. It might have been like a year ago when we met. But you was
I got videos on all this stuff from when I first started. Because I was talking about the revamping of the educational system. Right, I got posts on my Facebook going back to when I first started because this part of the curriculum. It's obviously not really playing too good on here, but they can go look the video up. They know which ones to look up. But you can look at a couple different ones. This is how they say Stevie Wonder can see.
Yeah.
He probably can see because he don't need his eyeballs to activate his optic nerve to see what's in that auric field. This is part of artistic expression. Because when you're an artist, you coming from high resonance on your mitochondria. That means your mother infused a lot of unconditional love in you when she was developing you. And now you're so strong and you gotta artistically express it. You find yourself becoming what they call a prodigy child. Right? Master of the violin at 3. Sammy Davis Jr. was tap dancing whole shows at fucking 5. Shirley Temple. Right? We forget about them because the black and white footage seems like it's not like we don't know how long it took. They kids used to do that shit. And they used to master it at a rapid rate because they had mothers who infused high mitochondrial energy in them. Right? And that's why the nation can rise higher than women because the mothers that love the children cause their mitochondria to overflow. That's how you make her babies. Right? And it also affects the physiological appearance of the child. We've been through that. We called it marking the child. The mother can redesign the child from what genetics say to what she wants to be by marking.
Right, go ahead.
And we all go back to this, harnessing that energy. Qigong is similar to Tai Chi. It's just a different discipline.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was gonna ask you this, Rod, because I saw these parents making them develop their superpowers, like reading blindfolded, and some people get forced to use those, like Ray Charles, blind, so he had to develop his ears, other senses more than his seeing senses, and it pretty much gave him a superpower. He can touch and know what she looked like. He can hear something, walk down a hallway, hear shoes hit the ground, the echo using that's a higher frequency because echo location that's what the whales use, and they use sound to how to see. You know what I'm saying?
You remember that boy that used to ride the bike with echolocation? He was blind.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. So this go back to the first part. This was why the nation's drilling practices become so important because the level of discipline required to develop higher senses while your other senses are functional is 10 times greater than your average person's natural self-discipline. You need the external training that you force yourself discipline to that develops your willpower strong enough in order for you to learn how to master higher disciplines and activate your higher senses. You can't get into magic without learning that. And this is what the last dragon was about. Right. Now remember, he ain't never know he was a master until that woman told him.
That's right.
Everybody else told him it didn't really stick.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Because on Earth, you can't be the master unless that woman say, he the master, and present you to other women to see if you really the master.
Right.
Is you the nigga you say you represent yourself to be? Is you really the baddest motherfucker ever born?
Yeah.
And I look around, I don't see nobody better than me but me.
Badly boy Brian.
Yeah. So he being bullied, the bully coming from the low chakra energy, that war energy.
Right. That's right.
Right. Well, he coming from the golden heart. Expressed as the golden child became the golden master.
Okay.
Right. There's no way Shonuff could beat him if he realized who he is because Shonuff is just an expression of your lower passions that was brought about fear. So they're not really stronger than you, especially when you operate from love. That's how you crush your ego. But you don't really want to crush it. You want to purify it. Take all of the shit that the world told to hold it out the way and put what you want there.
Yeah.
And then you use it to your advantage. Method acting. You become the person that you said you is. You said you motherfucker. You can't escape shit.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So the perception and the understanding is different from when it comes time to apply the discipline. Nobody want to do that. That's the hard part.
Tell him.
Right. To say, okay, they gave me 16 years. I'm gonna read everything they got.
That's right.
Why? I ain't got nothing but time and opportunity. And it ain't a
And
whole
it ain't a
lot I
whole
got in
lot I
common
got
with
in
them
common
dudes
with
on
them
the
dudes on
yard.
the yard. Right, right.
But I ain't no
But I
better
ain't no
than them.
better
I'm
than
just
them.
gonna
I'm
use
just
my
gonna use
time
my time
differently.
differently.
Right?
Right. Yep.
So
Yep. So
read the whole
read the whole
library.
library.
Read the last
Read the
book in the
last book in the
library and send it
library
to
and
a
send it
different
to a
prison to
different
read a
prison
new
to read a new
library.
library. Right, 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 right.
You know?
That's what
So
Malcolm X was going when Large Muhammad when he met that dude in prison. He started him reading books. He started with the dictionary first.
yeah, that's
That's
sensationalized by
sensationalized
Spike
by
Lee. That's
Spike
not
Lee.
what he
That's not
said in
what
the
he
book.
said in the book. Okay, okay. Go ahead. We'll go ahead. We'll go with the real story. Let me hear it.
Oh, in the
Oh, in
book,
the book,
he
he
wasn't into
wasn't
all
into
that
all
until
that
his
until
brother
his
Reggie
brother
brought
Reggie
him
brought him
the
the
message of
message
the
of the
messenger.
messenger. Okay, all right, okay, all right.
When
When
his brother
his
started
brother
telling
started
him
telling him
stuff,
stuff,
and then
and
he
then he
started to
started to
investigate
investigate
the
the
stuff
stuff
his
his
brother
brother
was
was
telling
telling
him
him
that
that made him
changed his
changed his
views.
views.
Right?
Right?
Malcolm began to
Malcolm began to
understand from a
understand
higher
from a higher
perspective.
perspective.
Right? In the
Right? In the
movie,
movie, he make it look
Malcolm
like
got
Malcolm got
converted by the
converted
guy
by the
named
guy
Bibby in
named
the
Bibby
joint.
in the joint. Yeah, yeah.
That ain't
That
true.
ain't true.
At least not
At
true
least
to the
not true
book
to
that
the
he was
book that he
supposed
was
to been writing
supposed
a
to been writing
story
a
from.
story from.
It was a
It
guy in
was
the
a guy
joint
in the joint that he was
in
in
awe of that was
awe
the
of that was
master
the
of the
master
debate
of the
team.
debate team.
But
But
nowhere in the
nowhere
book
in the book
was this
was
dude
this
teaching
dude
him
teaching him
like that.
like that.
That's an
That's an
embellishment by
embellishment
Spike
by
Lee.
Spike Lee. Okay, 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 okay.
He had his
He
own
had his
man,
own man,
and he just
and he just
questioned shit
questioned shit
naturally.
naturally.
Right?
Right?
So when he
So when
had
he
the
had the
debate
debate
in the
in
debate
the
class,
debate
because
class,
now
because
he's in
now
the
he's in
debate
the debate
class,
class,
he's learning the
he's learning the
skills.
skills.
Right?
Right?
And that's
And
how
that's how
he ended up
he ended
having
up
a
having the
conversation
conversation
with the
with
clergy.
the clergy. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
You know. But all
But
this
all
is
this
coming
is
to
coming to
self-awareness.
self-awareness.
Right?
Right?
Elijah
Elijah
Muhammad
Muhammad
don't teach you
don't
nothing
teach
but
you
how to
nothing but
trust
how
in
to
what you
trust in what
sense
you
and in your
sense and
higher
in your higher
senses.
senses. Okay.
He called him
He
a
called him a
radio head.
radio head.
Right? That's
Right?
what
That's
Elijah
what
called us,
Elijah called
radio
us,
head.
radio
Because you
head.
hear
Because you
stuff
hear
coming in
stuff
your
coming in
head
your
and it's
head and
coming on
it's
a
coming on a
frequency, you just
frequency.
got to
You just
tune
got to
into
tune
it.
into it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can
You
tune
can
in to
tune in
all
to
of them
all of them
because they're just
because
right
they're
there in
just
the
right there in
moon
the moon
projecting themselves
projecting
onto the
themselves
earth.
onto the earth.
Let's see if we're
Let's
going to
see if we're
figure it
gonna
out.
figure it out.
Holographic
Holographic
imagery.
imagery.
Right? We didn't
Right?
been
We
here
didn't been here
before. We didn't
before.
did
We
it
didn't did it
before.
before.
Wasn't as
Wasn't as
bad,
bad,
but
wasn't as fun
wasn't as
either.
fun either. See, you gotta
See,
keep
you
in
gotta
mind
keep
if
in
you
mind if
always
you
been on the
always been
top, you
on the
don't know
top,
what
you
it feel
don't know
like
what it feel
unless you
like
get on the
unless you get
bottom.
on the bottom. That's right. That's right.
So you can't
So
get
you
on the
can't get
bottom
on
in
the
the free
bottom in
will
the free will
universe
universe
unless you agree to be there. Now they can
Now
make
they
you
can
agree
make you
by
agree by
trickery,
trickery,
but if you
but
fall
if you
for the
fall
bait,
for
then
the bait, then
for
you
the
fall
trap.
for the trap.
The trap
The
is to
trap is
trick
to
you into
trick you
trapping
into trapping
yourself in your
yourself in
own
your own
fears.
fears.
That's why
That's
all
why
great
all
fields
great
of
fields of
knowledge
knowledge is by a barrier of fear do
you run
you
into
run
when you
into
get
when you
there.
get there.
Oh, don't
Oh,
study
don't
that,
study
man.
that,
That
man.
stuff will
That
drive
stuff will
you
drive
mad.
you mad.
Right? They tell you
Right?
that
They
in the
tell you that
Bible.
in the Bible.
They don't go,
They don't
oh,
go.
don't go
Oh,
down there
don't go down
messing
there
with them
messing with
maces,
them
man.
maces,
They'll
man.
drive
They
you
drive
crazy,
you
man. They
crazy,
do
man.
that
They do
voodoo
that
on you.
voodoo on you.
They don't even know
They
nothing
don't even know
about
nothing
masonry.
about masonry. Facts.
But they
But
telling
they
you,
telling you,
I'll give you all
giving
the
you
advice
advice
of
of
what to
but
avoid, but these
these
the
the
ones
only
making
ones
upper
making upper
progress in your
progress in
community.
your community. Right. Get them,
But
bro.
you don't see that.
See that. Get them, bro.
Right? So
Right.
now we
So
got
now
us
we got
scared of
us scared of
everybody making
everybody making
progress. Where
progress.
that's going to
Where that's
leave
gonna
us?
leave us?
Regressed.
Regressed.
It's going to
It's
leave
gonna
us
leave us
atrophied
atrophied
at the back of
at
the
the back of the
bus
bus
till we
till
figure
we
out that
figure
they've
out
been
that they've been
running our
running
whole
our
life
whole
with the
life
fear
with the fear
mechanics.
mechanics. Go ahead.
Everything they
Everything they
did to
did
reinforce
to
their
enforce their
domination has
domination
been
has been
keeping us in the
keeping us in the
perpetual state of
perpetual
fear.
state of fear.
Once you break
Once you
past the
break
fear,
past the fear, they
they can't control you no
control you
more.
no more.
Only you can
Only you
control
can
you.
control you.
And now
And
you know
now
how to
you
be
know how to
part
be
of a
part of a
collective,
collective,
and you know how to
and you know
move
how to
as an
move as an
individual. You've
individual.
mastered
You've
yourself.
mastered yourself.
I'm a local truck driver, and I live in Kansas. And I I've been watching you for a while, you know, and you know, I love watching you and Young Elder. Y'all done crack my head and twist my cap so many damn times. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm on here. So like, I don't know, I just have like a little bit a question. I don't know, I'm gonna just say it. So I was adopted, right? And my mama people, they come from Detroit, and so you know, when I seen you was up there in Michigan, I felt like an instant connection. And you know, I was adopted and shit, and my grandma, she was into some crazy shit, you know. But me and my auntie, I found my biological family, and we watch you and shit, and you know, we just love what you're saying, and like we're the only people in our family that's like, you know, aware of anything. But you know, my question to you is, you know, you talk about how, you know, our ancestors and our DNA and everything, and I feel like I have a dual kind of assignment because, you know, my adopted family is here in Kansas, you know, and they're, you know, Christian and all that stuff and whatnot. And, you know, I was the black sheep and, you know, I didn't really fit in with them or whatever. But, you know, my question is, from your perspective, how does being adopted, you know, and growing up in a different environment, you know, affect, I don't know, I guess my assignment? Because I've always been aware, you know, I remember I've hated church since I was 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? And like it just sounded like some bullshit. It sounded like, man, them sound like the fairy tales that my, you know, they be reading to me and shit. Don't sound right. Like, what the fuck is that? And you know, I always, you know, my mom was really, I was adopted, like I said. My mom was white and my dad black, and my mom was a fucking emotionally, you know, she couldn't get past her own abuse, and so she was abusive to me. And I always just wished and hoped that I could like find my real mom. And so when I did find my biological family, my mom had passed away. She had died. And, you know, that was really like devastating to me. I was just like, wow, really? So I got raised by this crazy white lady and shit. And so, you know, it was just, here, let me see if I don't know if you can see me. But, you know, it's just been crazy. But yeah, adoption and how that affects, you know, I don't know, my assignment or, you know, because I've been helping people. I give people, you know, all kind of shit, you know. I've been into, you know, metaphysics and voodoo and shit for at least 15 years. And people, they come to me and ask me shit, you know, and I give it to them. You know, I don't really know my, like, purpose or whatever. But, yeah, I feel like being adopted has definitely affected, you know, whatever the hell it is I'm supposed to do.
Okay, so now let's analyze this for a minute. So you was adopted by an abusive adopted mother.
Yes. She was married to my father. My father is black, and he's just kind of like one of them go along to get along ass Negroes. He just fucking, you know.
Okay. Let's look at the key points. Okay, so he was your biological dad.
No.
Okay.
Both.
All right. I got you. So he's a pacifist male. She's a alpha female. And so what do you learn if you ever adopt a child or go into a relationship with somebody that got a child? You know from experience that if you don't protect this child's emotional well-being and mental well-being, that they will go through what you went through, and you would be the agent that rendered that to them.
Right.
It makes you not want to do that.
Right. My daughter is amazing. Like, my daughter graduates from high school next month, and she's an honor student. She's a triple Scorpio. She was born November 12th. And she's so fucking amazing and smart. She's an artist. Like, she blows my mind because, I mean, I appreciate the lessons from my mom of what not to do because I didn't do it. I wasn't perfect, you know, because I was dealing with my own mental and emotional issues. But I could never think of, you know, I remember giving birth to her. The day I gave birth to her, like, you know, I remember sitting in the church and people would get all, oh, you know, the Holy Ghost and shit, crying and jumping around over Jesus. And I never understood that shit. But I tell you what, when I gave birth to my daughter, that shit made me want to jump around and flip around and cry and say thank you. You know what I'm saying? I like, it was such a
Everything that you learn, right, from that you don't want to perpetuate, you don't know it. But that lady that was your stepmother, you breaking her generational curses for her by not repeating. She was her bloodline is trying to escape the generational curse of parental or step-parent abuse.
Her dad was abusive. She was adopted, and her dad was abusive, and her mom was passive and sat there and let it happen. That's what.
Right. So it's exactly the opposite. So you cleaning up families that ain't got nothing to do with you by biological, but circumstantially, you put there to learn something, right? You learn how to treat children that's not biologically yours by knowing how people who have children that's not biologically theirs mistreat them.
Right.
So you being conditioned as one day a grand matriarch to be able to counsel women going into relationships where children already exist.
Wow. Okay.
Look, my adopted mama was mean as hell. You ruin the child if you don't protect their innocence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you now are a candidate to teach that from experience. Your experience can teach you how to correct broken families now.
Wow.
So your mission is that as a priestess, you use it as a training program on how to teach people to be better to children that they don't have a biological connection to.
Right on. Right on. So my mother, my biological mother, after I found my biological family, I found that my grandmother was also a terrible mother to her. And so it's just like, you know, all this abuse of daughters, biological and adopted, you know, because my grandmother was the biological mother of my biological mother. And
Now
she
look
was
at what happened.
to her. And
Your
she
mother don't listen. Your mama don't want to perpetuate the generational curse of an abusive parent. You become by default the sacrificial lamb to break that generational curse.
wow, I felt that.
So she either had to surrender you up,
Wow.
or she might not be having the emotional equipment to not be abusive.
I know. Damn, Chief
So
Parker.
you end up breaking your adopted parents, a white lady and the black guy's generational curses. You end up breaking your grandmama and your mama's generational curses in a direct line, all by being sacrificed as an adopted child.
Wow.
So you be breaking generational curses to people that ain't even from your clan, but you still doing it out of the goodness of who you are. That's your book of life. You picked that because you wanted those curses broke all over the land.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know, I have thought of some of the stuff that you're saying, and I'm just so grateful for the confirmation and everything that you do, Uncle Rod. God dang. Wow. You're great, and I just appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And you know, like I said, my people, my mama's people come from the D, and I've always you know, had a connection with that energy up there. When I seen you, you know, I was just like, damn. And so my biological father is from Tallahassee, Florida. And so, you know, I've talked to him on the phone a few times, but I want to get down there and see him. But wow, thank you so very
This is the clue for you. In your family line, when you meet your dad, in Florida is the finish line. That's your life destination. So it's going to be on your terms when you make that trip. But just let you know, all of those curses broke when you make connection with your father. You break all those curses that you were sacrificing yourself to break.
man. I can't thank you enough, man. I don't even know what to say. Just thank you so much for everything you do.
Shoot, I'm even thanking you for breaking curses because this make my job easier.
Oh man. You know, I've always been strange and weird, and I never fucking was able to get with the program of the society and none of that shit, man. It just didn't fit. History, everything. I was like, it sounds like some bullshit. And you came
This,
along.
this, this is why women like you gonna be needed to raise the matriarchy, because y'all have to teach us that y'all have to clean up the bullshit we've been being taught. Mother is the first teacher. Ain't no way around it.
My daughter is so amazing because of the lessons that I, you know, and it was inadvertent. I didn't really know what was going on. I just knew that I couldn't do that to my child. And she's so amazing. Like when I go to parent teacher conferences, they're like, oh man, your daughter's great. And like, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to give her what I didn't get. You know what I'm saying?
And
she is fucking
becomes the manifestation of the broken generational curses from all sides.
She is. Man, she's so fucking amazing, man. Oh my God. I look at her and I'm just amazed. Thank you so much, man. I don't even know what to say other than I can't believe I got on here with you, and I appreciate everything. Thank you for your confirmation, for your teaching, for your patience with people. You're everything, man. Thank you so much, Uncle Rod. I can hug you right now.
You're welcome, sweetie. Keep up the good work doing what you're doing, because you're following your path to the letter. You
Right
done
on.
broke enough generational curses. Now you got to go see your dad to get it all over with.
Right on. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Have a fucking amazing rest of your day. I can't believe I got on here with you, man. Hell yeah. Peace and love to everybody, man. Like we gonna do this shit, man. And all praises to Rod and Chief
I don't want
Warhorse protecting and
no
all.
praises. I just be grateful and thankful. I don't need no praises. I ain't nobody God.
I feel you. I feel you. Protect Rod and Chief Warhorse at all costs, for real.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, sweetie. I'm gonna take one more caller before I wrap it up.
Right on. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.
All right, peace. That was a beautiful sister. She went through a lot, and she was able to use it to her daughter's greatest advantage. This is when you see the fruition of the works that the people that's from the land go through to clean up the generational curses of even visitor families to the land. We don't want that negative energy over here. And some of us suffer just so we can be able to get rid of the negative energy. That's why mama say sometimes the good got to suffer with the bad. It ain't that the good was doing anything wrong, but the good have to fix the problem, because the bad just gonna keep corrupting the system. And this is why only way that we gonna get up from under the condition is by each one teach one. And that was a perfect example. Okay, so he didn't come in. I haven't been going to the questions in the question bar because I've been taking callers. Hey, sweetie.
Hi, Brother Rod.
How you
are you?
doing?
Good. So I have a question, like what type of energy are we in? Because I've been so emotional. And usually I'm just a person that vibrates high and, you know, I feel everybody's pain. Like an empath, I could just take on everybody's energy, feel everybody's pain, want to help everybody. But lately it's like I've just been an emotional wreck. And my dreams are becoming more and more overwhelming.
So your dreams are your subconscious trying to give you information that you can use in your waking life. You get frustrated if you don't learn your inner language. In your dreams, you get weirder, stranger. Sometimes they become terrifying in order to make you pay attention and have a memory to try to find out what the dream world is telling you about the physical world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The dream world is aiding you in your path, and your subconscious know the language, but your conscious mind don't know the language. Some of us have our own way of communicating with ourselves that nobody can tell us how to do it. So we have to learn our own language, our own inner language. So this is why when you ever hear me tell somebody they got to write their own codex, it's clues to how to interpret what your higher self is saying by knowing what a color mean, an animal mean, and just because it has a general meaning, it might have a more specified meaning to you, right? And the more things you define in your reality, the more control of your reality you have, right? So it goes to, are we on a predestined path or do we got free will? You're on a predestined path until you find your free will. Because when you're not using your will, it's the law of use in the universe. Somebody gonna use it for you, and it might not be to your benefit. It might be to your detriment. This is why we teach the children to be responsible for the self and to know their space, because you can control yourself best by controlling who comes in your space with the wrong energy.
So
right?
pretty much taking my power back.
Yeah. Your me time, if you don't have me time, every woman's responsibility herself, especially when she start having a husband and children, is take at least an hour a day to at the end of the day to unwind from the day, or else she's gonna get overwhelmed in short order. If you take that me time and daily resets, spiritual baths, you can use it for your listen to your music and dance in the basement, whatever it is that is suitable for you to spend some time loving on yourself. This is going to empower you to be stronger in dealing with others. And they don't want you to know that. That's why I'm telling you. Because I know they don't want you to know.
I've been going to the water every day last couple of days.
And that's where you can get your spiritual messages the strongest, at the sides of the water. You know, my mama used to tell us we going fishing. She teaches us how to fish. We went fishing damn near every day when we didn't have no money, because that's how we ate. But in retrospect, my mama used to be out there meditating on the water, getting spiritual messages in order to properly guide her children. She learned that from her father. My grandfather was one of the biggest medicine men in the country. People came as far away as Canada and South America to have him mix them healing herbs. That's my mama's daddy. Right? He was a high chief. His territory, they didn't divide his land up now, but we traced it all the way back to his wife. When he passed, got deceived by bankers and they tricked her out of the land. I think they gave her like $15 for like over 100 and something thousand acres. You know, so she really didn't know what they was doing or what she had or what she was giving up, right? But he was protected before that by his organic status to the land. They couldn't take his land. Now you got Macomb, Mississippi built on his land, Tylertown, Magnolia, Sunflower, all that's on my grandfather's land, right? On my mama's side, right?
It's trickling down to you. His knowledge and
my big mama, her land claim, his land claim is on her land claim, right? Because she allocates the women used to allocate who settled what portion of the land and where cities would be developed, or what we call them villages. Where the villages, that's the closest English word to what we call them. And Natchez, Mississippi on my grandfather's land too. But my father came from the other side of Mississippi. He come from Canton, and his tribal land is the Canton area. But Jackson was the capital. His land also lay on top. His ancestral homeland lay on top of my big mama's overland. Like, she was like the great landlady of the Louisiana area, and she's related. And her tribe and Chief Warhorse tribe is the same tribe. They from the same area, Louisiana. She was the one who baptized me when I was a baby. Now, my mama, the one who took the responsibility to teach me to read the codes, right? And my father, I never knew he was even involved in teaching me codes until he was gone, and I couldn't even say nothing to him about it because I didn't see it like I did with my mama.
What was your mom? What's your mom's sign? You talk about her a lot.
My mama, Aries. My mama was an Aries, and my father was a Leo. That's why they wrote in the book, the lamb should lay down with the lamb. That's talking about the Leo and the Aries.
I was thinking Aries or Cancer.
My mama was an Aries. She was a Spitfire when she was young. She'd tear this motherfucker up. She would knock a grown-ass man on his ass.
I bet she was a beautiful woman, too.
Yeah, she was drop dead gorgeous. My father said she was more red than the red-haired left-hand monkey.
That actually sounds like something somebody from the South would say.
what my mama said about my daddy. She said he got more nerve than a brass ass monkey. They was flipping me cold. In the folder, there is a picture that says go to the folder. I'm trying to remember what it say.
I got you right here. I'm pulling it up right now. I got every single receipt that you sent me, and I got another video too. That other video, you want to roll that one?
I think it's Magna Mater, MAGNA MATER, Magna Mater.
Yeah, you got it in here. It's like okay.